Larry, Fort Worth Memories Museum and Groups. It is Wednesday afternoon. It's just after lunch. Hold on, I'm sharing something to the group about a public meeting for heritage and paddock parks and streetscape improvements. Is Wednesday, August 20th at the Botanic Gardens, that meeting place they have there. Okay, here we go. Let me find the feed. There we are. There. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna tell everybody good afternoon. And I'm gonna share it to the internet and to Memories, Live Videos, and Messages. Lisa is in. So I made a post earlier about Fort Worth ISD is, I guess they've already made the decision to take cell phones away from students. So I ask y'all's feelings. Let me see how that thing's going. There's been 56 comments. It's a statewide ban. That's all school districts in Texas. We need parent support. Well, we've got some teachers weighing in. Arlington Heights High School, Mandy says, banned all cell phones last spring. Somebody said, how'd it go? Most parents supported it. Kids didn't like it. Well, sometimes the parents need to speak up for the kids. Yeah, we never had cell phones in school. Of course, they didn't have cell phones. I'm glad to see that everybody is talking civilly and not throwing a hissy. So you can go on the main group. There's plenty of people making comments. Marilyn's in, James is in. So is this already a there's some parents that don't agree with it. Fort Worth ISD moves to ban cell phones in response to new state laws. So what does that mean? That Texas Instruments stocks fall 12%. What, because of that? Well, anyway, it looks like y'all are, everybody's getting along and not throwing a fit. Let me see. No, everybody is behaving themselves. used to. There was a time that we couldn't make posts like that on the main group because everybody talked so hateful to each other. But I think they figured out that all that gets you is banned from the group. We can have civil discussions. It's plenty hot out there, I can tell you that. I like that camera better for some reason. So I'll be here another hour and a half. I should have us a mechanic shop signed up by this afternoon, and maybe a dentist and maybe a painter. Don't know where we're eating yet. I'll think about it on the drive home. Marilyn says she thinks it's a simple answer. If you disagree, then homeschool your child. If you agree, send your child on to school. End of story. That's my feelings about it. There is a lot of Eagle Mountain School District parents already making threats to the schools about not. Why is that a big problem for the parents? None of their parents, I don't think, not very many of them, ever had a cell phone in school. Maybe parents that are in their 30s, but I think it's a personal choice whether you, if it helps, if children are on their cell phones, and you know some of them are sneaking around using cell phones, then that's a distraction in the classroom, especially if a cell phone's not turned off when it starts ringing. Once you've broken the train of thought, now this is my opinion, if a teacher in a classroom is in a discussion about history of the Alamo or about biology or about English or about whatever, and then a cell phone rings and they, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to turn it off, well, that disrupts the class maybe for the rest of the day or the rest of that hour. So, but I think I've got grandchildren in school, and they, you know what, I don't know. I don't think they have cell phones with them. I'll need to do some personal checking there. But it can only be a distraction. What's the advantage of having a cell phone in school? If the parent needs to get a hold of you, well, the parent can call the school and they can send somebody to the classroom. My thoughts, but that's just my thoughts. So that's good. We've had about 60 people sign on there and told us their views. Hold on, I'm trying to check out something right quick. Come on, internet. Okay. Somebody is asking, the name of the pest control is Termite King. And their post is running. Just go to Memories and in the spyglass put Termite King and it'll pull up all their information. Scott will have their business card posted by the end of the weekend. Hey, Gene Broadway. Okay, let's do our sponsors, who they, along with yourselves, help keep all of this thing rolling. We have 2 new Medicare Medicaid sponsors. Their company is American Senior Benefits of North Texas, and their names are Chasen Smith, that's Chasen Smith, and Andrew Wallace. All of the Blue Mountain Cafes, which there's 5, are sponsors. Stinger Sports Bar is in the old Martin building out off 199 in Azle. Tri-State Dent, they do door dings, hail damage, minor dents, and they come to you. Eric Walsh, real estate developer, he's also on the board of Larry's Kids. Feltz Family Auto Care is in the Burleson area. They have a great reputation out there too. Stroud Auto Supply, Haltom City and Riverside. Second generation, Danny Stroud and his wife are second generation. I know this because I bought auto parts there when I was 15. So they've been there a long time. Fort Worth Florist has sent flowers all over the world to keep everybody happy. Grateful for Your Trees is a company owned by Dickie. Hold on. Oh, no. Grateful for Your Trees is owned by Dickie Carr. Dickie is Richard Carr's nephew. They do more than just trees. They do landscaping. They do retaining walls. They do everything to do with trees. Cut them down, trim them, grind the stumps down. Bobcat work. They do everything. Swartz and Hanson is our architectural sponsor, and they are very active in the bicycle giveaway. Dickie Carr Sand and Gravel, if you need sand, they're the main supplier of it. They're going to get me a new logo, but Pat and Richard Carr are very active in all civil things that happen in our community. A-Bird AC and Heating is owned by Dub Peacock. So if you think that your unit, central air and heat, is not putting out correctly, call them. It costs you $95 to have somebody come out and take a look at it. That's pretty doggone cheap preventative maintenance. Jenny Stewart, State Farm Insurance. My opinion on all these insurance companies is that they're all State Farm, Allstate, and Farmers are all very good companies. It's which one is going to give you the best coverage for the least amount of money, so it costs you absolutely nothing to call them. Old South Pancake House. There's 2 locations. The one on University is open 24/7. The one in Burleson closes at 9 or 10. You can find all of these business contacts at www.fortworthmemories.com, or as of the weekend, we'll have them all posted up on YouTube at Fort Worth Memories. Coburn's Catering. Steve Coburn is 3rd or 4th generation. They've been in business since 1946. There is no event that's too big for them. They do the stock show every year. That's over 100,000. Winstead Paint and Body. They're on White Settlement Road, 1 block west of Roberts Cutoff. Optimist Club of Fort Worth. There's all kinds of Optimist Clubs all over the world. The one that we do business with is here in Fort Worth. Jeff Norman is the main guy over there. They provide us a Christmas tree every year. Plus, they do all kinds of neat stuff for kids both boys and girls. K-Ranch Roofing, Jorge Hernandez has been our roofing sponsor for many years. Does a great job. They've done lots of good work. If you think you might have roof damage, call them. You'll get Bree. She's the office manager. She'll set up an appointment to have one of their experts come out there and tell you whether you've got problems or not, and there's no charge for that. Fort Worth Lumber, they're down on I-35 South. So if you need building materials, building plans, you just want to talk to somebody that's very knowledgeable and bounce some ideas off their head, Fort Worth Lumber Company. Raines Plumbing, that's a family-owned plumbing business that is, their reviews are through the roof. They're a great company. They really care about their customer satisfaction. Brandon Cross Electric, they were voted DFW's favorites. They do commercial and residential. There's not a job too big for Brandon and his team over there. Manny Ramirez uses them whenever they've got stuff. Railhead Barbecue, I went up there today and got a baked potato. Charlie Guerin is on the board of directors at Larry's Kids. He's our state rep, and we eat at Railhead pretty often. Rex's Bar and Grill, that's in the old Macaroni Grill next to Old South on University. That's where we just had our birthday party last Saturday. Rex and his team over there did a fabulous job. I think every one of our guests were super happy. I've been doing business with the Benson family 40 or 50 years. Dana J. Lang. She is in the real estate business. She's also super knowledgeable about Fort Worth's history and Tarrant County. Good gal. She likes to drive fast cars too. So if you're buying or selling real estate, Dana Lang is the person to call. Okay, we're hoping to have a mechanic set up this afternoon or in the morning. I'll let you know. If you're in business and you didn't hear somebody's name called out that's in similar business to yours, then give me a holler. You can get way more exposure through our advertising rates than you can anywhere else. Ginger is in. Good afternoon. No, I don't know. The graphics console is, I don't know how to make it work. I'm not a tech guy. I don't know what the problem is or what your thoughts are on this cell phones in school, but we've got it running up and down the main group. You're more than welcome to come in there and give us your opinion. Of course, that's all it is everybody's personal opinion. But we've had 56 comments and everybody's playing nice. Here, Judy says it never should have happened to start with. A lot of people, I think that. I don't really know what the advantage of having a cell phone with your child in school. It just is a temptation to send a text or get a text. When that happens, if the teacher has to call the student out, then it disrupts the teaching in that class hour, maybe for the rest of the hour, especially if the child bows up and wants to argue back with the teacher. So I guess it's going to come to a head, and they're going to, some of my kids, when they were at Springtown, they took their phone. That was a long time ago on some of them. And you know, I never even knew they took their phone to school. If I would have known, I might have said no, but I know because one of my sons said, "You have to give me my phone back. That's in my dad's business," which all of our phones are, and he has to have it to do business. And so he shouldn't have said that, because when he did, then the principal said, "Well, I'll just call Dad and let's talk about it." And that's not what my son really wanted to happen, but it did happen. And I told the principal, "That's fine. I'll come up there and get it, and I'll deal with it." And I did. And he didn't take the phone back to school that I know of. That boy might have very well taken the phone back. The judge sentences that guy that shot up the 2022 slangs in Idaho. They ever figure out why he did that? He killed 4 people and only got life in prison without parole. Why did he kill those people? I never have heard that. I don't even think he knew them, did he? Yeah. Well, they owe 3 bikes. Right, you're talking about the Cleburne group. Yeah, they'll adjust. I mean, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's not like taking away your voting rights or something like that. How much is the baked potato at Railhead? If you get, like I got it with chopped beef, it's $9.25. Boy, and it fills you up completely. I'm done for the day. The diploma behind me is from Fort Worth University in 1896 or 7. Medical. They had a medical degree and a law degree. They left in 1911 when TCU got here. You've never seen one? Probably. The only ones that are known that I know of is there's 9 of them, and I own them all. There's Sandy. So tell us, where do you tell us about the cell phones in school? It's on the main group. There's a post, and it was running about 3rd in order. Let me look. It's reached 1,300 people. There's been 60 or 70 comments. Remember to be civil. This is just a civil discussion. I'll be out of here in about an hour and 15 minutes. Well, if you read that article, I think it's going to come down as a state law. But now, somebody said, I think Eagle Mountain ISD banned cell phones last year, or in the spring or something. So some of these ISDs might have already pulled the trigger on it and made the decision for the parent. I don't know if they're going to have a open discussion about it. Apparently it's in front of the Texas legislature, and so it'll come down as a statewide mandate. What happens what? If your ISD doesn't adhere to it, the state can cut off funds. That's how the state and federal governments control what you do or don't. If you don't go along with what they think is right, then they just cut your money off. i.e. all of the colleges right now that are in Trump's crosshairs. I think some judge just changed one of those. But if a school or institution is allowing stuff that's very distractful, and these students are involved in online, on-campus protests that disrupt classes and stuff, I can see where the government turns their money off. Those kids are sent there to learn something, not sent there to protest. If you don't like the way the school's doing it, why did you go to that school? No, the birthday party was a huge success. We were busy all day for the whole 4 hours, even before 10 o'clock started. We had quite a few people. And Rex's is a super nice place. If you hadn't visited it, you need to. What else? Let me see what y'all are. Sandy was there. She said it was nice. We had a good time. Sherry Holt did a great job. She does every year, coordinating everything. Just hot. That's all it is. It's just hot. Here's somebody sent a direct deal to me. I had parents who called or texted their kids during class constantly. In those moments, kids believed that their parents had jurisdiction over my classroom, and I did not. Yeah, see, that's what it does. I just had a teacher call or write to me. It disrupts the classroom. And if the parents don't understand that, then, but they want to complain when their students are not getting good grades, but yet some of the parents might want to allow stuff that distracts the teachers and the students from teaching their child. I can see where it's two sides to it, but I think the less distractions you have, the better chance you have to teach the students. Myself, a lot of these parents that have regular jobs, I don't think they're allowed to sit on their phones and text and all of that back and forth. The person who pays your check wants you doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I can see, I've never had a teacher tell me, and we've talked about this many times, I've never had teachers that say, oh no, it's okay. They've always been against it. So the school districts, they better start trying to do things that the teachers want to have done, because they're the ones teaching the children. So just tell us what you think. Keep your comments civil. If you don't, if you come up and you don't see the group anymore, you'll know what happened. Where was the boxing event held? It was over on Sylvania. The boxing club was Bill Barron's Boxing Club, I guess. Yep. My dad had me fighting from about age 4, and I've been fighting ever since. Fighting in our household was prerequisite to everything else. So I've always said that I feel that you're a product of your environment, and so that's why I was constantly in trouble as a young person. Nothing against the sport of boxing. It's just all the stuff that comes with it from my dad. How about that? I can only speak for myself. Some people have, I know other boxers that have started that young. I fought 9 years in the gloves, or high school and then open. But I've been fighting all the rest of my life. And it was a way of life, I guess. But those days are over, I hope. Okay, so anybody got anything they want to discuss or talk about? Sandy, when's y'all's next event for the Silver Sisters? Y'all bound to have some stuff coming up. It's too dang hot to be practicing and doing all that stuff that you have to do outside. Yeah, when I drive home, I'll figure it out. The food was real good at Rex's Bar and Grill. I had their small hamburger, cheeseburger, whatever it was. It was good. Termite King. I'll post his one of his promos right now. Their phone should be starting to ring. Come on, internet. Yesterday the internet was down all over Hazel. I don't know what that deal was. I even saw a post made by Hazel Cafe. They said they're going home. They couldn't. It's hard to operate when you can't send no messages or any of that stuff. I had to drive back into Lake Worth to deposit a check. I normally do it by phone, but the internet wasn't working and I needed to get it on the books. Well, I was hoping hold on, I can find it here. Rockwood Go-Kart and Mini Golf. Yep. Yes, they are. Hold on here. Well, oh, okay, there it is. Termite King. There you go. Termite King Pest Control Services. It tells you that they've got monthly plans, whatever. 817-696-7347. Yes. His name is Brad. Good guy. Been in business a long time. Yeah, I'm working on a auto mechanic as we speak. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. I gotta start putting stuff up. It takes a little while to put all this dog and pony show up. Y'all stay safe. The internet is working, so I'll do a live when I get home, and I don't think I've got anything going. I might be just going straight home. So anyway, I will see you good people later. Don't forget, use our sponsors, and please, on that cell phone issue,